Namaskar, I am Dr. Dilip Panda. A series of recent developments indicate that the bonhomie between US President Trump and Prime Minister Modi is declining, is fading. For example, very recently, after Pahalgam attack, Trump declared from his own side that it was he who initiated the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. And while he is in tour of the Gulf countries, West Asia, there also he has been boasting that he brought about a truce between India and Pakistan, directing them to involve in trade, not in war. Further, the very important thing that recently he has done, that is an agreement between the crypto company, which is very much owned by Trump's family members, had entered into an agreement with Pakistan. Another incident that when Trump publicly asked Tom Cook to not to produce more of Apple iPhones in India. Further, he misled that India has accepted a zero tariffs. It signals a worrying recalibration of US foreign posture. Although in the tariff case, the External Affairs Minister Jaishankar has countered without taking the name of Trump or USA that any trade relation will be decided by two countries, mutually. Even in case of India-America ceasefire, the Prime Minister Modi addressing the nation didn't refute the claim made by Trump that he had initiated the ceasefire, but implicitly when he pointed out that trade and terrorism cannot go hand in hand, or when he talks that talk and terrorism cannot be held simultaneously. This is an implicit refutal of Modi regarding the announcements of Trump. But now coming to such a situation, it clearly indicates that Trump is gradually distancing himself and distancing America from India. And on the other hand, which is most alarming, is he is posturing his closeness to Pakistan. The International Monetary Fund bailed out an initial amount of $1 billion on the very day when ceasefire took place. Then this entering into an agreement of the crypto company of his family with Pakistan. All these things clearly indicate a repositioning of the foreign policy of Trump. In case of India, Trump had made some attempts just to extract more and more in terms of transactional trade, because Trump's foreign policy has always been transactional. India is now being repositioned from a strategic partner to a bargaining lever. His request for Apple to scale down manufacturing in India directly undermines India's Make in India slogan. Moreover, Trump's bluff about India accepting zero tariffs was neither refuted nor corrected by New Delhi, diplomatically risky, and it missed opportunity to assert clarity. Pakistan seems to be coming to the strategic table. As I talked about the Trump-linked crypto agreement with Pakistan, is not just financial, it is symbolic. It revives Pakistan's long-standing utility as a geopolitical tool, strategically located, nuclear armed, and historically compliant with Western agenda. For Trump, this brings quick leverage against China, the Muslim world, and India, all wrapped into one. The Modi Trump disconnect is visibly seen. If we remember, from Howdy Modi in Houston to Namaste Trump in Ahmedabad, the optics one suggested a personal friendship, but the lack of Modi's vocal support for Trump in the 2024 US elections and India's hedging towards Biden may have ruptured the informal alliance. This I am stating looking at the narcissistic nature of Trump, who always boasts and always keeps himself in the center. This arrogance and this egoistic personality of Trump might have initiated or pushed him to be distanced from Modi because of this factor. This is just a logical speculation. Trump, never known to forget slights, seems to be retaliating by putting Modi and Sharif on equal footing. A clear snub to Indian diplomatic positioning. Now, India's silence may become costly what it seems from the foreign policy point of view. India's continued diplomatic silence on Trump's zero tariff bloc, on ceasefire meditation during 2025 Pahalgam attack, and on its praise for Pakistan is damaging. In international politics, silence is often seen as acquiescence. India must learn that silence in such moments costs not only moral capital but also strategic leverage. So, the strategic implications for India may be that there may be an erosion of diplomatic capital. India's decade-long efforts to isolate Pakistan on terror have been blunted. We are having a narrative loss. Trump's equivalence between India and Pakistan erodes India's global moral high ground. Then the vulnerabilities in trade, US pressure on manufacturing and tech trade can hurt Indian exports. Geopolitical realignment may take place if Trump returns to the White House. India may find itself relegated unless it re-strategizes. What India must do in this context, what I feel, is it must reinforce institutional diplomacy. It must make a shift from personality-driven to institutionally anchored foreign policy, like Quad, BRICS, SCO, G20, etc. It must dispel misinformation at the global level. India's Ministry of External Affairs must counter falsehood robustly and immediately. Economic diversification must take place in order to strengthen indigenous manufacturing and reduce dependence on US tech and capital. So there must be a narrative control. The activity built global. Actively, India must build global narratives around India's resilience, strategic consistency, and moral position. We may conclude that Trump's actions are more than idiosyncratic. They are a strategic recalibration. India must treat this as a clarion call to revisit its over-reliance on personality diplomacy and instead focus on reclaiming narrative dominance and strategic independence. A multipolar world demands not just aspiration but assertiveness, and India must now deliver on both. Thank you.